Hi, this is Denis Walker, and today I'm going to improve the storage in my adhesives section of my cupboard, where the tape is just sort of piled high. And I'm going to use a solution that I saw Adam Savage build with some dowel. So I can basically have two dowels, and the tapes then sit between those. I'm going to install that at the top of the cupboard somewhere here, and then I can easily see all the tape that I've got and access it much more quickly than having to wade through the piles of it that are there. So the first thing I need to do is clear out this cupboard so I can actually get to where I need to drill the holes to install it, and I'm also going to clear the stuff on the other side so that I can get to the other side of this middle support to secure it on that side as well. So that's the cupboard cleared out. Now I need to cut the dowel to the right length. So I need to grab a pencil and mark where I need to cut it. There are two lengths that are essentially that. And do the next one from there as well. That's about there. Right, there's the marks. Now I need to cut them. Took an awful long time to cut through that, but now I need to smooth the end off with sandpaper. And I can check whether it fits, which it does. Lovely. So I finally cut both of the dowels to length. So now I need to figure out exactly how far apart they need to be to support the smallest roll of tape I've got, which is this one. And about that distance looks to be right. If I measure that, that looks to be about 8 centimetres on the outer edges. Measure it close to that. Or perhaps it's slightly less than that. 7.5. So perhaps I'll call it 7, and that will ensure that there's no chance of that dropping through. And just to make sure that the largest roll of tape sits comfortably on that, it does. So now I just need to check how far down from the top I want it. And so there's this roll of aluminium tape, which I think is the tallest one I've got. Yeah, and also quite heavy. So I just need to measure how tall that needs to be in order for it to. In actual fact, it's that small tape there. It's going to come through, and the large one seems to be happy pretty much whatever width I have them apart. So again, if I make sure that is about 7, and of course it's rolled away, try and get that back into place. And I want to make it so that it is 7. There we are. And then check the height, which is, that's about 14. So if I call it 16, that gives me a couple of centimetres wiggle room at the top to actually get them out. Right, so we're talking about 7 centimetres apart and 16 from the top. Good, that means I can now drill some holes in the sides and put the screws in. Okay, so here's the side of the cupboard. I need to move the lumpy Space Princess out of the way so I can make my marks. And I want it to come down 16 from the top. So that is about there. Move Snoopy as well. So, of course, I actually want the one at the front to be quite a lot closer than that. Let's say 3 centimetres, something like that. So, if I mark 3 at the top, I can then come down 16. And mark at that point there. There we go, that's where I want my first hole. And then I need to work out where I want my second one based on the width of this, which is about 22 millimetres. So from centre to centre, I actually want to take off 22 millimetres. So 70 minus 22 is going to be 48. So that's how far I want the mark in, 48. So that is there. If I just check the squareness there, that is pretty much it. So I want to mark that one there. Great. So now I need to drill 2 holes for the wood screws to go through. And I'm going to get a bit of masking tape like this and put that on the other side to hopefully stop the wood from splitting as I drill through. So let's just make that there like that. Yeah, that looks good. I'll put a bit of tape under where I'm drilling to hopefully catch the sawdust and it not go on the carpet. And so I can now drill these 2 holes. Didn't catch quite all of the sawdust, but caught most of it. Right. Okay, so to mark the holes in the centre, rather than trying to use a ruler where there's an extra bit at the top before you get to 0, I just marked out on this piece of paper the same measurements as before, 3 centimetres in, 4.8 centimetres between the two, and 16 from the top. And I just made a quick little hole at the centres of these with a craft knife, so I can line this up with the top like so, and then just mark through the hole where the holes should be, and then I can get in with a torch and find those marks, make them a bit bigger and easier to see, and then drill the holes. So I've put a piece of masking tape on the other side to hopefully prevent the hole from blowing out, and now I can drill these holes. There we are, 2 more holes. To make it easier to get the screws started, I'm just going to put a little bit of a hole at the centre of each of these dowels. And then go to the other one, and then I'll screw them in. Okay, so I can put a screw into this hole and send it through till it's coming out the other side, which it isn't yet. And then do the same. I've actually put the back one in first and make it easier. So put this one in too. And then line this up and get it into the hole, and then line it up with the hole on that side. Right, so I can get that screw in this side now. It's spinning around quite a lot. Let's do the other side up a bit. Right, that screws in. I'll do the one on the other side. Let's get the other screw in. Other screw in, and then we put the other bar in and we're done. And we're done. So now we can put the tape on and drop it all over the floor as well. Right, here we go. It works. So everything's back in its place, but now my tape is much easier to access, and I've got a bit more space down here to organise things, and so there's a little bit more in here than there was before. So that's it for now. See you on the next video.